Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between snow-capped mountains, there lived a girl named Melody. She was as white as the snow that blanketed the village, with rosy apple cheeks that glowed in the sunlight. Melody was known far and wide for her adventurous spirit and her love for exploring the world around her. One day, as Melody was wandering through the forest near her village, she stumbled upon a hidden path that led deep into the woods. Intrigued, she followed the path, her curiosity guiding her every step. As she journeyed deeper into the forest, Melody discovered a magical world unlike anything she had ever seen. The trees sparkled with dew, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of wildflowers. Birds sang melodies that filled her heart with joy, and the gentle babbling of a nearby brook soothed her soul. Melody wandered through the enchanted forest, marveling at its beauty and wonder. She encountered mystical creatures like fairies and talking animals, each one welcoming her with open arms. As she explored, Melody came across a majestic waterfall cascading down into a crystal-clear pool. Mesmerized by its beauty, she approached the pool and saw her reflection shimmering in the water. Suddenly, the water began to glow, and a magical being emerged from the pool. It was the spirit of the forest, a wise and ancient creature who had been watching over the forest for centuries. The spirit of the forest spoke to Melody, telling her that she had been chosen to be the guardian of the enchanted forest. Her pure heart and adventurous spirit made her the perfect choice to protect its beauty and magic for generations to come. Overjoyed by this honor, Melody accepted the role of guardian of the enchanted forest. She spent her days exploring every corner of the magical world, learning its secrets and befriending its inhabitants. From that day on, Melody was known as the guardian of the enchanted forest, beloved by all who knew her and admired for her bravery and adventurous spirit. The moral of the story is that adventure awaits those who are curious and brave enough to seek it, and that true beauty lies not just in the world around us, but also within ourselves. Rebecca was a girl who loved to explore. One sunny afternoon, she decided to go on an adventure in the woods near her house. As she wandered deeper into the forest, she came across a mysterious old tree with a hollow trunk. Curiosity piqued, she peeked inside and found a small, shiny key lying at the bottom. Rebecca picked up the key, intrigued by its appearance. She wondered what it could unlock and decided to keep it as a souvenir of her adventure. But as she continued her exploration, she realized that her own house key was missing from her pocket. She must have dropped it somewhere along the way. Panicked, Rebecca retraced her steps, searching high and low for her lost key. She checked under rocks, behind trees, and even in the hollow of the mysterious tree, but it was nowhere to be found. As the sun began to set, Rebecca started to worry. How would she get back into her house without her key? Just as she was about to give up hope, she remembered the shiny key she had found. She rushed back to the hollow tree and tried the key in the lock. To her surprise, it fit perfectly. The tree trunk swung open, revealing a hidden door that led right to her house. Rebecca was overjoyed. She had found a new way into her house and had also discovered a secret passage in the forest. She decided to keep the key as a reminder of her adventurous spirit and the hidden wonders that could be found in the world around her. From that day on, Rebecca was known as the girl who found her way home with a magical key. And though she never did find her lost key, she learned that sometimes the greatest adventures come from unexpected discoveries. In a lush orchard, nestled among rolling hills and golden fields, there stood a magnificent apple tree. Its branches were heavy with ripe, juicy apples, and its leaves shimmered in the sunlight. But what made this apple tree truly special was its ability to grant wishes. One day, a young girl named Yo-Yo stumbled upon the orchard. She was tired and hungry, her clothes worn and her shoes tattered. As she approached the apple tree, she noticed a single golden apple hanging from its lowest branch. With a hopeful heart, Yo-Yo plucked the golden apple from the tree and made a wish. "I wish for a warm meal and a cozy bed to sleep in," she whispered, her voice filled with longing. To her amazement, her wish was granted. Before her eyes, a table appeared, laden with delicious food, and a soft bed materialized beneath the tree. Yo-Yo ate her fill and fell into a deep, peaceful sleep. The next morning, Yo-Yo awoke to find herself refreshed and rejuvenated. She thanked the apple tree for its kindness and made a promise to return the following day. Day after day, Yo-Yo returned to the orchard, each time making a new wish. She wished for happiness, for love, for friendship, and each time her wishes came true. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, Yo-Yo's life was transformed. She found joy in the simple pleasures of the orchard, and she grew to love the apple tree like a dear friend. One day, as Yo-Yo sat beneath the tree, enjoying the warm sunshine and the sweet scent of apples, she realized that she had everything she could ever need. She no longer needed to make wishes, for her heart was full of gratitude and contentment. And so, Yo-Yo lived happily ever after, her days filled with the laughter of friends and the beauty of the orchard. And though the apple tree no longer granted wishes, its magic remained, a reminder of the power of kindness and the joy of simple pleasures. The moral of the story is that true happiness comes not from material possessions or wishes granted, but from gratitude and contentment with what we have. Once upon a time, in a land where rainbows painted the sky every day, there was a magical umbrella that could fly. This umbrella was no ordinary umbrella. It was woven from the finest threads of sunlight and raindrops, making it light as a feather and strong as steel. The umbrella belonged to a young girl named Susan, who lived in a small cottage at the edge of the rainbow forest. Susan was a dreamer, always longing for adventure beyond the rainbow. One day, as she sat gazing at the sky, she noticed something shimmering at the end of the rainbow. Curiosity piqued, Susan grabbed her magical umbrella and set off towards the rainbow. With a flick of the umbrella, she was lifted off the ground and carried high into the sky, soaring towards the rainbow's end. As Susan flew closer, she saw that the shimmering object was a pot of gold, guarded by a mischievous leprechaun. The leprechaun was surprised to see Susan flying towards him, but he was not about to give up his treasure without a fight. Using her quick wits and the magic of her umbrella, Susan outsmarted the leprechaun and claimed the pot of gold as her own. With her newfound riches, she flew back home, her heart full of joy and her mind dancing with dreams of new adventures. From that day on, Susan's umbrella became known as the flying umbrella under the rainbow, and she became known as the bravest adventurer in all the land. And though she had many more adventures beyond the rainbow, she always remembered the thrill of that first flight towards the pot of gold. The moral of the story is that with courage and imagination, even the most ordinary objects can become magical tools for extraordinary adventures. In a cozy little town, there lived a small girl named Clara. Clara was a lively and adventurous girl who loved to explore the world around her. Her constant companion on her adventures was her funny cat, Anne. Anne was a mischievous cat with a playful nature, always getting into funny situations that made Clara laugh. One day, while Clara was playing in the garden, she heard a rustling in the bushes. Curious, she went to investigate and found a tiny lost kitten. The kitten was scared and alone, so Clara decided to take her home and care for her. She named the kitten Rosie and quickly introduced her to Anne. Anne and Rosie became fast friends, chasing each other around the house and getting into all sorts of funny antics. Clara loved watching them play and would often join in the fun, laughing along with her furry friends. One day, Clara noticed that Rosie seemed a bit sad. She tried to cheer her up by playing with her favorite toys and giving her treats, but nothing seemed to work. Clara was puzzled until she realized that Rosie missed her family. Determined to help her new friend, Clara set out to find Rosie's family. She searched high and low, asking everyone in the neighborhood if they knew where Rosie came from. Finally, after a long search, Clara found Rosie's family, who were overjoyed to be reunited with their beloved kitten. Clara was sad to say goodbye to Rosie, but she knew that she had done the right thing. She watched as Rosie happily reunited with her family, knowing that she had made a difference in Rosie's life. From that day on, Clara, Anne, and Rosie remained the best of friends, sharing many more funny adventures together. Clara learned that even the smallest act of kindness can make a big difference in the lives of others, and she was grateful for the friendship of her two furry companions. The moral of the story is that kindness and compassion can brighten someone's day and bring joy to both the giver and the receiver. In the picturesque town of Riverwood, nestled by a winding river and surrounded by lush forests, there was a rainy day unlike any other. The rain poured down in a gentle rhythm, creating a soothing melody that echoed through the streets. Lisa, A cheerful young girl with a love for adventure peered out of her window with excitement. She loved rainy days, as they always brought new discoveries and surprises. Today, she decided, would be the perfect day for a walk by the river. As Lisa stepped outside, she spotted her friends Mancy and Derek playing in the puddles. Mancy, a lively girl with a contagious laugh, was splashing around with glee. Derek, a curious boy with a knack for finding hidden treasures, was busy exploring the riverbank. "Come join us, Lisa," called Mancy, splashing water in the air. Lisa grinned and ran over to join her friends. Together, they splashed and played in the rain, their laughter blending with the sound of the raindrops. As they wandered along the riverbank, Derek spotted something glimmering in the mud. He reached down and pulled out a shiny stone, polished smooth by the river's flow. Excited by his discovery, he showed it to Lisa and Mancy, who marveled at its beauty. "I think this is a lucky stone," said Derek, holding it up to the sky. "Let's make a wish on it." The three friends closed their eyes and made a silent wish, their hearts full of hope and joy. As they continued their walk, the rain began to subside, and a rainbow appeared in the sky, its colors vibrant against the gray clouds. Lisa, Mancy, and Derek watched in awe, feeling as though the rainbow was a sign that their wishes had been heard. As they made their way back home, the sun began to peek through the clouds, casting a golden light over Riverwood. Lisa, Mancy, and Derek knew that this rainy day had been truly magical, filled with laughter, discovery, and the warmth of friendship. The moral of the story is that even on the rainiest of days, there is always magic to be found if you keep an open heart and a joyful spirit.